Our next guest in the studio here on TSB is a real estate consultant, having had experience both here in the Middle East and also in Canada. I think she's based in Ontario, Canada, looking at a very fancy business card that we have in the studio.
I'm mighty impressed with the card because
it is a six-sided business card. Think about that.
This is amazing. Everything that you need to know about is right there. But then, hey, there definitely would be a lot more questions, wouldn't there, Kitch?
Joining us in the studio is Jyothi Shamnani. Thank you very much for coming in and speaking to us here on TSB.
Thank you so much, Kitch. This is a pleasure. And I think you are the first person who has noticed the six-side card. It's basically a portfolio where I don't have to explain myself, but it's an icebreaker, actually.
It is.
People love it, and that's how the conversation starts.
It's a great way to get people's attention. How long have you been in real estate for?
Technically speaking, it's 5 years. But in my previous corporate world, I have worked as an HR. I was here in Dubai for 7.5 years, in Nigeria, in Bahrain, and in Saudi, and then in Canada. So 21 years of corporate HR background where I recruited people, and then after recruiting, I relocated the expatriates. So I was indirectly helping them,
Right.
Which is what later on attracted me to go professionally as a real estate consultant.
Well, this is interesting. What you'd practiced here for someone else is now something that has become your own business. People relocate to Canada, and when they relocate, they migrate. They don't just go there for a few years thinking that, they'll go back home. They go there for good, because once you get your landing papers, you get your PR turns into citizenship. You need a house to live.
Absolutely.
Right. So how does it all start? Tell us.
So you mean the process,
The
or you mean
process.
my process?
Your process.
Okay. So in terms of, and the whole point of coming here and talking to you all is that I want the audience to know, first and foremost, we are not an immigration consultancy service. We are real estate consultants. We are helping people who are planning to move to Canada or have received their landing paper to come to Canada, or work permit for that matter, or people who are looking for options of investing. This is far better, safe option as compared to cryptocurrency or stock market, because in Canada, the history has shown that there is, on an average, appreciation of the equity anywhere between 8 to 10%.
Wow. That is a lot.
Yeah, you won't get it anywhere.
That's
so
a lot, yeah.
that's the reason why investment is the best option. And if you are coming as an immigrant, rather than paying somebody else's mortgage, buy your own property. So I'm here to educate people, to make them understand that if you have applied for a PR or your landing permit has been received, start planning now so that when you are ready to do a soft landing or a hard landing in Canada, you are ready to buy the house.
Canada is such an attractive place for people to migrate to, certainly for the Asian community. And it's an attractive place, certainly when it comes to many investments. Citizenship by investment is one. But unlike the UAE, it's different. The purchase of a property doesn't guarantee you citizenship or a passport, does it?
You're absolutely right. But that is in terms of if you're looking to have a residential property. But if you have, good net worth and you are thinking of opening up a business, then definitely with the business visa, in a business category, you can definitely go through that and get residentship, which can eventually convert into citizenship.
Right. So you mentioned that, if someone is looking to immigrate or migrate to Canada, they've got their landing papers, they're looking to land in a year's time. Within a year's time is when you can actually travel. So you mentioned two parts: soft landing, hard landing. What are those terms, and how does one who's soft landing or hard landing get in touch with you to ensure that their landing and then for the path forward is sorted?
So once you apply for your PR or work permit, so let's talk about, this is related to PR. So soft landing is something that you come and it's like, touching the country, getting the process done in terms of registering yourself, how you get the Emirates ID here.
Right.
It's a similar process. You get your national ID and then you get your SIN number and OHIP card, which is a health card, open a bank account. And then if you are not here to ready to come permanently, you can go back after
Okay.
applying all this. And then when you have like enough saving and you've made up your mind that yes, finally now I am ready to go and settle and now live in Canada, that's when you do the hard landing, and then now you're settled there.
Right. Okay.
So that's how it works. I mean, it's give and take. Quite a lot of people go from Dubai. The weather is not really good. They don't like it, and they are not mentally prepared. They come back here.
Right.
But then there are a lot of
Well,
people-
it's hard to go from 50 degrees to minus 50 degrees. I
Absolutely.
mean, you can't
It's
think
all
of two
other-
bigger extremes.
But you know, that's one side of Canada. There are quite a few other places, like Halifax is there, you know, Vancouver, British Columbia is there. They have beautiful weather. So you will have like how you have pleasant weather during December time and January, February. It is pleasant like that. It's not, of course, 50. But those places are good.
Look, you know, I love Canadians generally as an Australian. We have a common bond of making fun of Americans every chance we can. But Canadians do have a reputation, even in the United States, of just being the friendliest people, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You won't believe it. I mean, it's my experience that I would speak about. So when I had gone, I was on Family Way. So, and it was a difficult pregnancy. And I didn't have car at that point of time. So we used the public commute, but I loved every bit of it because when we moved at that point of time, the metro has just begun in Dubai. So we didn't really use the public transport. So there it was like really nice. Like people would actually wait for you.
Oh,
They
right.
would see I'm with children and I am pregnant. So, you know, they'll wait for me to get on the bus. And buses actually lower down so that it is comfortable for you to get up and get down. It's really nice. Everybody would greet you. Just a smile on their face brightens your day. So yeah, it's completely different there.
And you know, we often nickname Neil Sweets because of his love. And you'd love Canada because maple syrup comes on absolutely everything.
Tim Hortons. I love French vanilla. There's no
Yeah.
reason why not to.
You know, but getting back to a serious note, when people are looking to invest in real estate in Canada, what is the importance of trying to find, you know, brokerage or to get assistance with local knowledge like yourself? Why is that so important?
So see, and the reason I want to relate with people or like, you know, come here because I myself have gone through these hurdles. So what happens is people who have born and brought up there, they know the environment there. They don't know the mentality of people who are living here. In Canada, you don't have nannies, you don't have house help. Everything takes care. Every person takes care of their own house chores and stuff. And there, from here, when you're coming, you're not used to marhaba services and all those kind of things. You
You've
know,
been
so
spoiled
people
here.
they don't understand this concept. And like my card, my services are marhaba, you can say, in Canada. So I provide all those details. I am there with them at every step of the way, guiding them, whether the family's, again, coming on Family Way. So I help them the initial few months when you don't have your OHIP card,
Right.
where to go for your health services so that you're not breaking your
Bank for this.
bank.
Yeah, you're right.
So things like these are there that I provide to them, and that's the reason why I want to like approach them from the get-go. So you're ready.
Right. So you mentioned that, you know, you once you've done your hard landing, right, where you have decided that, listen, I've decided, I've got my money, I've left my job in UAE, now I'm going to find a job, look for a place to stay, all of these things. Now, this is a lot on one's head, and especially if they're coming in with their husbands or wives and kids, it's a lot to take on in one go, especially if you don't have a job offer, right? How does it help, or does it work in a way that let me buy a house right away, or do they have to wait till they get a job, put in the money, mortgage, all of that?
So there are different scenarios. I'll give you an example. So there was a family who was ready to move. So they did soft landing, and then they stayed during the COVID time, 4
Okay.
months. enclosed in one apartment, in one room. And they did have some knowledge of how things are and how to go about. And then when we, that bloke was from Australia. So
It was no good, clearly.
So the next thing when they did the hard landing at that point of time, they were not in Canada. We did the purchase on FaceTime, and he didn't have a job at that point.
Okay.
But he did have money. So when you are a newcomer or your first time buyer, you don't have enough credit score. So instead, there are policies and there are protocols where the banks are okay to give you the mortgage on certain amount. If you want to know more, definitely connect with me, and then I can see what is your requirement and what is your eligibility, and then I can guide you accordingly. So those are the things that were there, and we took care of the family. And so they bought the house virtually,
Okay.
digitally. And when they landed, we did the closing, and the next day they were in their house.
Wow. This is
Incredible.
amazing.
This is the importance of when you're finding the right people to work with.
True.
And that have that local knowledge and that local experience.
Extremely important.
It just makes everything so easy, because there's nothing more stressful than moving, let alone moving to another country.
Absolutely.
So
That's so true.
such is the importance of having someone with expertise. If we do want to get in contact with you, what's the best place? It's your website is the best place to get in contact with you?
So yeah, website is good, which is www.jyothishamnani.com. It is spelled as JYOTISHAMNANI.com. I am everywhere on the social media. So my Instagram handle, my Facebook, YouTube channel, TikTok, you name it, we are there everywhere, because we want to cater to different mentalities,
Right.
different perspectives, and different categories when it comes to.
Of course. I mean, our interns, producers, when it comes down to Pranav or Arjun, TikTok's the only way I can message them. Even if I want something about work, it's got to be a DM on TikTok if I want to contact them.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's like you have to be everywhere. You can't just say that, oh, if you are like
Yeah.
Facebook, you are just Facebook. You don't want to market in any other place. Because people listen to different
No,
channels.
you're right.
Like, this channel is pretty good. I like meeting both of you. I like everybody. You have welcomed me very well. And you
Oh,
understood.
we're getting a report card now, are we?
There you go. It's an all A plus.
Oh, here we go. Let's actually know the Instagram account, Shamnani JS. You can also be there. But Jyothi, thank you very much for coming in, sharing your story about having been so successful, and also giving people a great opportunity to give them a helping hand with real estate in Canada.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. There is Jyothi Shamnani, the real estate consultant. If you do want to get in contact, the social handles are great as well. It's on on LinkedIn. You can get in contact, Shamnani J, or also Instagram. It's Shamnani JS is the best.